Greetings, denizens of the tri-state area. Jacob Weil here.
And Blue Dragon 5.
And Dragon, I know what we're going to do today. We're going to activate the Recap-inator and discuss my favorite cartoon, Phineas and Ferb. That's right. In honor of the 15th anniversary and in preparation for the upcoming revival, I'm guiding Blue Dragon 5 here through the series, experiencing his reactions watching it for the first time, and reliving my summer memories throughout the years. Today's episodes are It's a Mud World and The Ballad of Badbeard. First off, it's a Mud World story with a story by Bobby Gaylor and Martin Olson, storyboards by Mike Diedrich and Mike Roth, and directed by Zach Moncrief. All right, Dragon, how you coming down on the monster truck episode?
This was a fun one. It's kind of breaking the rules in interesting ways in terms of our formula here, but again, in kind of like a loophole kind of way, which is really fun. It's I like this episode. It has kind of like a relatable dread with the parallel parking thing.
Yeah.
It's very funny. We exaggerate in a very memorable way. Again, going from like parallel parking lessons to monster trucks. It's quite the leap, but I dig it. So yeah,
Even though there is some thread of logic there.
as I'm saying, there's absolutely thread of logic. So I don't know what's my favorite of the two this week. I mean, it might be probably, but yeah, I really enjoyed this one. It was good.
I really enjoyed this too. Obviously, I mean, I don't have my license currently, so I can kind of relate to Candace in a way. I mean, and the main issue was weaving for me was weaving in between the cones. Going left and right in between cones, and then doing the same thing backwards. That was always my issue. So, which is kind of related to parallel parking. And I've even had driving instructors admit that if they had or even people, adults say that if they had to retake their driver's test, they would not pass it today. So I can kind of relate to her in that regard. But of course the monster truck is always pretty cool. I mean, always very cool. And of course, Doofenshmirtz's plot ties into what the boys are doing, kind of, and that's always fun. Of course, the monster truck that looks like himself is a riot. so yeah. This is again a very fun episode, if you ask me. Again, it's hard to pick a favorite between the two of these, to be honest. All right, so let's get into it then.
All right. So Candace and her father are they're parallel parking, and we see Candace under pressure in a hilarious freak outy kind of fashion here, where you see like her wearing the helmet, and just see okay, Candace, time to parallel park, and of course she's like just back and forth and just crashes into the trash cans. There's no I understand if okay, you do a sloppy parallel park. This is far beyond a sloppy parallel park, folks. This is just full on gunning it. Front and back. And then this is what kills me. So Candace is recap telling Stacy this on the phone, and then just says, and then Dad said, my parallel parking needs a little work.
Yeah.
Lawrence is doing a really good job here. Is the fact that it needs a little work, which is very very fair, very generous. In fact, the way he's putting that.
That's one thing. That's one thing this episode really highlights is the positive relationship between Candace and Lawrence,
which we have not really done often. So that's good.
I mean, like I said, considering it's a whole step family relation too. It's not a lot of shows that's one of that's one of the things the creators wanted to highlight was their step family, but technically, but you wouldn't be able to tell just by looking at them. But
yeah,
it really is one of the episodes that highlights Lawrence and Candace as a duo, and it's interesting in that way.
Yep.
And of course, outside we have Phineas and Ferb racing their light-speed monster trucks.
I love that gag with Linda. She thinks, oh, they're playing pretend or something. When in reality, they actually did build Lightspeed monster trucks that are re-entering.
Yeah, it's like, the photo finish. They're always going too fast. I can't tell who won.
Yep. So let's see. They overhear Candace's dilemma, and they figure out, let's help. Yeah.
Well, the funniest part of that is like you must get your imagination from your father as he's doing a paint by numbers.
Okay, let's take a minute here. Again, this is kind of borderline. This is kind of thing I was alluding to, Jacob. Borderline observation, but kind of gritty reboot time.
All right.
Which, by the way, we're missing our banners.
Yeah, sorry. Gritty reboot time.
Okay, so something to notice. Yet again, we continue to have the runner with the eldest members of the Flynn family. I dread if we're ever going to do this with the boys or not. I'm kind of hoping not, but I know if we're going to do it with the boys, we're going to do it with Ferb. But let's just take a moment from that. It's the fact that yet again another member of the Flynn family sleeping with and/or making kissy face with portraiture or an image being captured of somebody, like a lovingly framed artful image of a loved one, of a loved figure. Yeah, Lawrence is literally Ellie B. Lawrence is literally making out with a picture of the Queen of England.
One he painted himself.
One that he painted himself. Okay, there's stretching, and then there's just kind of like a light arm reach. Okay, this is, it's like we think about it. We've had Candace sleeping with a big old picture of Jeremy's head in her bed, Godfather style, only without the mess. And then we got Linda missing Lawrence sleeping with his picture in her bed, and now we got Lawrence kissing a picture of another lady.
It's the Queen, Dragon.
I know it's the Queen. I'm well aware that makes it even worse, Jacob.
Well, unfortunately, now we had to say former Queen.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah. He's kissing a picture of a dead lady.
Well, I mean, she wasn't dead at the time. We had to preface that.
Yeah, you're right. Preface it, yeah. But yes, regardless, it's the fact that it's like, I know obviously the gag is just he's doing like you kiss the artist, like kiss the big moi, but Lawrence is not waiting for the paint to dry. So but it's the fact that it's like a sloppy kiss on all these paintings. Like Lawrence has a problem.
And you know what if you're going to the gritty reboot, it's even worse.
Oh.
The boys know about it.
Yeah, the boys know about it, but here's what makes it even worse, Jacob.
It's like, yeah, you have a bit of the Queen on your face.
Yep.
What makes it worse?
Here's two things that make it worse and gritty.
Oh God, what is it?
One. Just taking that line out of context. We didn't have to do any work on it. Dad, there's some of the Queen on your face.
Oh God.
Let's just say it was a more full body painting. Secondly.
Oh God.
Secondly, that one was just okay. Realistically, though.
Okay, breathe, Dragon.
Realistically, it's when you think about the reason why, it's the fact that just Linda and Lawrence's attraction to each other is that they found out they had a common interest. It's like, wait, do you sleep with portraiture as well? I do. Do you kiss the portraiture? When alone? Absolutely. You want to grab a coffee sometime? Do I? Do you have any pictures of yourself? I might. Can I paint them? I mean, okay.
Do you know what's funny about that though? Like, literally the next episode, we actually do learn their common interest.
How quaint!
So you're not actually far off. And Ellie would be like, wholesome.
Yep.
It's like, I don't know if any of that was wholesome, but it was definitely something.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway.
And I just love, but speaking of which, I just love Gizri. I'm painting.
He is delightful, that Lawrence. He's a little nutty with how intimate he's getting with these paintings, but he is delightful.
I mean, if you notice, it's not the only one he's done it with either.
That's what I'm saying. It's just the fact that he's got a problem, man. He's a sick man underneath it all.
Well, I mean, paint fumes aren't healthy, Dragon.
No, they're not. They killed Bob Ross, sadly.
Killed who?
Bob Ross. They killed Bob. Yeah, paint fumes.
Oh,
well, the theory is that the paint fumes killed Bob Ross. Every time he did that whack on, whack off thing with the brush.
Huh.
Yeah.
I had no idea that.
You can't watch that Bob Ross documentary, Jacob. It's really good.
Yeah, I will have to check that out.
Anyway.
But it's like, so clearly Lawrence has a bit of a problem with making out with paintings.
He does.
I'm sure there's a name for that, but I'm not going to look it up right now.
I don't even want to know what it is.
I don't either. I think we're looking too much into this. I think we're making it less innocuous than it actually is.
Paintaholics Anonymous.
Yes, that too.
Of course, their credo is, "I hear you paint houses."
Oh God.
All right. So, okay. So this is okay. So the boys get an idea. We're gonna help. We're gonna help Candace.
Well, of course, their first priority is like, I can't believe it. I never noticed how soft our carpets are.
Yeah.
Actually, no. That they do, but it is nice of them to actually do something for once that actually benefits Candace. I mean,
they've done it before, even if Candace just kind of is her own folly on two legs.
I know, but in this case, it's actually something reasonable to help her with and everything, and it's like, and something that she doesn't even try to get them in trouble for.
Yep. So, well, they can't really. No, Candace. It's not even that. It's like Candace can't get him in trouble. She's not really touched by this gesture necessarily. It's just more the fact of well, she can't do anything. Like she literally called Mom and Lawrence. More so, let's get to the big thing of this episode, man. So Lawrence calls Linda.
Yep.
He calls Linda and he confesses his sick painting desire. No, really. He calls Linda.
It's like, do you have a confession to make? I make out with the paintings in secret.
Well, sure, that's fine. They're the paintings of me, though, right?
Yes, of course,
darling. They furiously retouching them and painting them over, look like smeared Lindas.
But anyway.
Yes, no, seriously though. So big, in all seriousness, Lawrence calls Linda, and he basically gets a responsible adult. He gets the okay. Well, I should ask your mother first. After the boys, present the monster truck and everything, and Bella suggesting, hey, you and Candace can ride around there and do the parallel parking in the monster truck. So if anything gets destroyed, it's intentional. She calls Linda, and I love where Linda's at. I love this is a regular thing for Linda. I love that Linda's with Charlene, Doofenshmirtz's wife. Doofenshmirtz's ex-wife.
Yep, ex-wife.
Sorry. I put it in the song, but yes. Doofenshmirtz's. Okay, so.
Yes.
Anyway.
She kept the name.
Really?
She kept the name. She kept the Doof. She even says so later on, you're not even married. You're not even Doofenshmirtz. I kept the name.
What you mean? Is that nice?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. Maybe
that's what I'm saying. That's the thing. Why would she not change the name back to her maiden name if she's divorced? I don't get it.
Maybe she prefers Doofenshmirtz.
Not enough to stay married to him.
That's true. Actually, maybe she prefers the name Doofenshmirtz.
Maybe her real last. Do we know what her real last name is?
That's never revealed. Maybe
it's just so awful and terrible. Doofenshmirtz is an improvement.
Remember the sanctity of divorce, please.
Anyway, so.
All right, so.
Okay, Lawrence calls Linda, who's at her cooking class with Charlene, and getting Linda in trouble with there's a big angry chef with a meat tenderizer.
Yeah, and she's like, honestly, you're just as bad as Candace.
Yep. It's okay, I just wanted to make sure.
And it's like, no cell phones in class!
Breaks it with a meat tenderizer, and then Linda's other phone, or was it Charlene's phone? Oh no, the chef's phone.
Yeah, Candace somehow has the chef's phone number.
God. Well, I guess it was with the emergency contact list.
Yeah, but if you need to get a hold of me, I'm just calling.
Yes, call my pastry mentor.
No phone calls in class.
Oh god, I just honestly, I'll tell you, listen, I don't know for anyone out there who listens to the Office Ladies podcast, in which it's the ladies from the Office, Jenna Fisher and Angela Kinsey. They recap episodes of The Office, and they kind of have this running gag where they pitch an episode of Mom Detectives, which is like if they were ever to have a show make a comeback, it'd be them as Mom Detectives. So, in the spirit of that, if we ever do a spin-off, man, I want the Linda and Charlene show. That's the spin-off of Phineas and Ferb I want.
Yeah, get Caroline Rhea and Nelson Janney to do it again.
Yes, please, yes, let's do it. Oh, you know what? I think if I have it right, I think I know who. Jacob, correct me if I'm wrong. Carolina Reed.
Yeah,
She's Hilda from Sabrina Teenage Witch. Is that right?
I believe so. Yeah.
That's what I thought. That's awesome. Jacob, until you mentioned it just now, so I don't know how I missed it, but until you said Carolina Reed, I don't know if you've ever mentioned who voiced it. You probably did when she was first. I don't know if you did or not.
I think I did.
I think you did too. But
yep, Hilda Spellman.
Yep, that's the thing. I guess until I heard the name again, it's probably been a long while since you probably did it when she was first introduced, but ever since.
And she was also Miss Schickelgruber from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
No, I know. I buy that. It probably makes sense for why she's in the Disney camp. But yeah, seriously, yeah, she.
Which also coincidentally had Ashley Tisdale in
it. Well, yeah, of course. Regardless, it's the fact Carolina Reed's like, yeah, it's just kind of brought back all the memories. No wonder I like this lady.
Like, well, Dragon, you have a supporter of your idea.
Or 5 seasons of the Mom's spinoff immediately, Disney.
Yes.
Okay, and they're going to call it What's Cooking with Linda and Charlene.
That's a great name.
Just on the weekends, every week they go to the cooking class, and then we just kind of check in with them when they hang out. On Netflix right now, I think it's in its last season, mind you, but there's a show called Working Moms, which is also good. You know, it's the fact that there's a demographic for the mom shows that are not just shows called Moms or Mom that features Allison Janney, other mom shows.
I mean, what do you know? Another Allison Janney mom show.
There you go.
I mean, she's literally voicing Charlene here too.
That's what I'm saying. We gotta get Allison Janney on all these mom shows.
I guess it must be a niche she can fill.
Yeah.
It's like maybe we can incorporate that every week too, in addition to the gritty reboot.
Well, if they show up.
Yes, if they show up.
All
right, but of course, like nothing builds confidence like a monster truck.
True.
Like so. But moving on to the other plot of the episode, Perry.
Let's talk about the doof.
It's like Monogram is like amused by like the Doofenshmirtz's name is shortened to Doof.
I gotta be honest. This is probably the main reason I like this episode more than the next one. Just this Monogram gag is just priceless. It's just so funny in the way Swampy does it. And it's the fact that it's the fact that he's kind of finally caught on to like just calling him the doof. It just I love the animation on his laugh, just seeing like the animation of the mouth behind the mustache, just laughing.
Oh, yeah. It's great. Like the doof. It's like it's times like these that you appreciate having a cool name like Monogram.
And Carl says, Carl's a cool name too.
I already told you, Carl, your name's not that cool.
And you know how we know this, Jacob?
How do we know this, Dragon?
We have a chart. Cue the chart!
The chart.
Yes.
Yes.
There we go. All the Carls. Look at all these Carls. Yeah, Carl, you uncreative named Carl. Let's look at all the far more interesting named Carls. Got Carl Weezer. That's a descriptive name. You have the other Carl from Johnny Bravo, who's got 5 names in one. You got Carl Fredricksen, man. That's an iconic Carl for the ages. You have a mysterious Carl from SpongeBob, who is so mysterious and creepy and off-putting, he does not even have a last name. You got Carl Moss. It's a homegrown name.
Yeah.
You got Carl Gould. Might be a relative of Peter Gould in my headcanon.
Carl the Robot.
Robot. Need I say more? Carl with a K.
Carl Fousley from As Told by Ginger.
Yeah, you got Carl the store manager. Okay, I mean, that one's just more of like a pseudonym, so we don't really know what his
Well, I mean,
name is.
I didn't know what else to call him. He doesn't have a last name either.
No, I know. You're. Jacob, I'm not faulting you on that. I'm just saying Carl in general is just, it's still.
There's Carl Carlson from The Simpsons.
See, there's a Carl. It's not just one letter, Carl. That Carl. He zhuzhed it up a bit. Carlson, just gonna give like a little.
LED.
And we get the Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force again. He's shopping at the same store as the John Bravo Carl in terms of all the nicknames. In terms of all the last names, sorry.
Basically, that's code for saying we're not going to try and pronounce those.
Exactly. They're possibly both Polish, but we have no idea. We're going to move on. So, got Combat Carl. Combat is his first name.
Yes.
Got Carl the Minion. Job description in the title, Carl with a K. Lazy. Then you got the great Carl Beaumont, again a very important name. It's a good last name and one that's going to echo in his offspring with Andrea Beaumont,
AKA the Phantasm.
Well, yeah.
I didn't say who the Phantasm was.
You're right. AKA the Phantasm. This guy.
And besides, the movie came out like 30 years ago.
I'm aware of this fact. Jacob, if there's one fact I know in life, is that Mask of the Phantasm came out long ago, decades ago. In this case, 30 years ago. I'm well aware of this fact.
I'm sorry, Dragon. I'm just saying.
Then we have one of the best named Carls amongst the bunch.
Carlos Ramon.
Need I say more?
Carlos.
See, a name so well recognized, so well respected, so cool, in fact, the gang has to kind of stop in their tracks and just kind of look and just appreciate that name, saying Carlos.
Even though technically when he says it, they're just like reprimanding him for saying a very lame joke.
That's what I'm saying. Still, there's a lot of love in that Carl. This Phineas and Ferb Carl, this purple glassed Carl, not so much. All right.
So yeah, and it's honestly, Monogram might not have much room to talk for embarrassing names, considering his first name is Francis.
Oh, and just wait until we get to that reveal. I'm going to go on such a rant with that reveal.
Why is that?
Well, not a bad rant, just more of like kind of a tangent, one could say, I guess.
Is it like a Deadpool-related rant?
Yes.
Okay. I kind of anticipated that. Francis!
Anyway, we're going to move on.
All right, so it's like...
Okay, point being, the doof is doing something involving monster trucks.
Yes. Very, very conveniently.
Mm-hmm.
So we go back. So at Doof 3, 2, 1.
Doofenshmirtz
Evil Incorporated. He's looking for investors for his new line of monster trucks.
Jacob, not just investors.
Yes.
Evil investors.
Good distinction.
Yeah, they all look rather evil too.
Though, Dragon, to be fair, is there any other kind of investor?
Well, I guess.
Maybe that joke works better with lawyers.
Yeah, with lawyers, that's what I'm saying, Jake. It's a lawyer joke.
I know, but
difference.
But then again, as you know, we both know of not a lawyer who's not evil.
Yeah, but
Rohit isn't evil.
Yeah, but he is between jobs right now, so.
So technically, he's not a lawyer.
Well, I mean, he passed the bar, but he's not.
I know.
Really,
he's not a currently practicing lawyer.
Exactly. So he's kind of between lawyer jokes right now.
Rohit, if you're watching this, we apologize.
Yep.
We love you, man.
Oh, hey, I'm defending his honor. I'm saying he's not evil.
I mean, that's what I'm saying too.
Yeah. Anyway,
he's the exception.
Yeah.
All lawyers are evil except for Rohit.
We don't know what he does outside of the podcast, though. I mean, might be kicking puppies for all we know. I don't know.
Rohit.
I've been thinking about this. Rohit just with a smile on his face kicking a puppy. I can buy it.
Oh, God.
All right. I didn't like John Wick. No, we know actually he did like John Wick, so I'm kidding.
Absolutely zero investors are allowed here.
Yeah. Investors Day, get out of town.
Yeah, I've been looking forward to more Investors Day videos, but I haven't made any more since like the one in 2020 or something.
Right.
But the monster trucks, like instead of just being actual, instead of just being just giant trucks, he makes monster trucks designed like actual monsters. And
I told you, this is really just a business venture. Doofenshmirtz is not doing anything truly evil right now until he's just basically trying to corner the market on it.
Yeah, just trying to take that the monster truck away-inator and everything. So it's just marketing tactics.
However, I love that there's a half measure here in which it's like, hey, it won't hurt the people when we vanish the cars. However, when we vanish the cars, and if it were to hit a person, we demonstrate on one of the investors, and he gets a swelled head.
Yep, the German investor, voiced by D. Baker.
Yep, and that brings us to very briefly,
Yes,
reboot time.
Gritty reboot time.
This one's kind of gritty in quotes. It basically turns this guy into a supervillain, kind of like Gravitina from Buzz Lightyear Stark. With a swelled head, he gets telekinetic powers. He can.
Oh, or like Sheen in that one episode of Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah, or like Sheen in that one episode of Jimmy Neutron. He does get a bright idea later. But it also does bring about the question of the dark. Now, here's the actual gritty version of what happens in this episode.
Yeah.
Again, part 1 of 2, because we're gonna get to the other actual gritty thing that does happen to all these guys in this episode. But let's just say,
something gritty kind of happens to them already.
That's what I'm saying. So, what if they survive that fate, and this guy still has a swelled head, and a week later he finds out that Doofenshmirtz has actually made him gravely sick, and only has a week to live.
So it's the whole Dr. Manhattan gambit.
Yep, it's the Dr. Manhattan gambit, and basically he's trying to take Doofenshmirtz to court. He's just like, what is this pharmacist? I'm a pharmacist. I'm not a doctor. I didn't do any of this.
No, he's not a pharmacist. That's
true, but he might be hiding behind the pharmacist thing to get a dodge here.
I mean, the only difference there is that Dr. Manhattan was innocent.
That's true, yes. Doofenshmirtz didn't do this intentionally. It would be more of like, it reminds me of this gag from Harley Quinn. One of the funniest dark jokes from the Harley Quinn animated show. In the season 2, basically, I won't get into the whole thing here, but essentially there is a ray that she fires in a place there would be no practical purpose for there to be a ray like this. She fires a ray at a henchman she intends on killing. And
yeah.
The henchman, basically, it seemingly nothing happened to him. Then they look at like the little label and like where the ray gun was kept, and it says the cancer ray.
Oh no!
And then we have this hysterically dark joke where the henchman says, with just utter heartbreak, it's just like, Harley Quinn, did you just give me cancer?
Oh.
He goes, I gotta run, spend time with my kids. You go, Frank.
Oh God.
Anyway, so something like that.
That's just disturbing.
So basically, let's just lampoon that and apply it to this guy with the swollen head.
Oh God.
Or even worse, even worse. Okay, let's not give him cancer. Okay, let's give him the fate of the let's do something in between the cancer, in between the Gravitina, or Sheen, what have you. We do Hammond. I don't know if I forget if it's Hammond, but the bad guy from the Green Lantern movie. I believe Hector Hammond was his name, but essentially the guy who basically
talk about the live action run of the live action Green Lantern.
Yes, the live action Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern. Let's do what happened to that guy.
I've never seen that movie.
Well, trust me, it's not pretty what happens to that guy, because his head actually swells, but they didn't really have the budget to make it look good, so he just has a big head. So yeah.
I mean, heck, they had to spend all the CG animating the suit.
Yeah, because that was a good idea. So
halfway between Cancer and Sheen.
Just don't. Well, sadly, the correlation there is not that far if we're talking Planet Sheen. That one's just all cancer. It's nothing but cancer. But we're gonna.
we mean basically Giant Brain Sheen.
Yeah, Giant Brain Sheen's cool. Planet Sheen.
And not even Rob Paulson could save that one.
No. Anyway,
If anyone deserved a spin-off, it was Carl.
that's true. Yeah. Okay, so
I'm Carl Weezer.
all right.
Sorry.
Okay, so moving on.
Like, so I guess we could. So Doof actually traps Perry in the Chinese platypus trap. Damn,
I
but
love
Perry.
I love the fake out with like the whole the Recap-inator. It's not a Recap-inator at all. It's
It's
the
a,
Chinese platypus trap. Inator.
yeah. When the actual one was just like the actual Locatinator was just like a simple GPS looking thing.
Yeah.
Which you gotta admit, which you gotta admire Doofus for keeping things compact and simple.
It was a good call. Well, it's a
Yep.
locator. You don't need it. What's the point of a locator if you can't take it mobile?
Yeah, but Barry still got trapped with it, and of course they decide to take him with them. It's like, are you sure you want to bring him? Oh, yes, he's my nemesis. I have to show him everything.
I just love just them questioning the logic of this, and he's so fervent, like, no, I have to show him everything. It's how the whole relationship works.
It's like, hey, he's my nemesis. I have to show him everything. Like I explained my scheme. I trap him. He escapes. It's a whole thing. We tried changing it up a couple weeks ago, but it didn't really work out.
Nope. All right.
I end up inside of a dog, and let's just end the discussion there.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Oh,
So I guess we could. So after, so I guess
yeah, we can ditch the gritty reboot time.
Yeah. All right. Sorry.
Yeah. So let's see. Then we have Jacob. Let's talk marketing.
Marketing.
So
Yes.
Isabella, as always, likes to help Phineas and Ferb out, and she does something rather funny. She goes on TV with Dink Winkerson.
Yes.
Which already is a really ridiculous name.
Like little Isabella gets to appear here from Fireside Girl Scout Troop 46321. Like, man, has this announcement to say? Wednesday.
Just the fact that we have this giant, deep voice, intense, like Penn Jillette sounding voice from Toy Story coming out of this little girl.
Penn Jillette from Toy Story?
Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure I told you this before, Jacob. Penn Jillette was the voice of the guy who did the Buzz Lightyear commercial in the first Toy Story movie.
Oh.
Buzz Lightyear, the whole, not an actual flying toy. Karate chop action. That's all Penn Jillette.
I had no idea I had completely forgotten that was Penn Jillette.
He was so loud when they did that, Jacob. When they recorded that, they could hear him outside the studio, like in the hallways of the recording studio.
Dang. I mean,
yeah.
Penn Jillette can yell.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, they wanted an assaultive '90s TV ad, so they got Penn Jillette to sell it, man.
And they sold it.
They did. I mean, that's all Penn Jillette until the ending, which is pretty much like the brain trust, like all of them going, Buzz Lightyear at the end.
Yeah, but now be able to let your local Al's toy bar.
Yep, that's also not. Yeah, that's Joe Rant, I believe.
Yep, and which actually turned to be good unexpected foreshadowing.
Yep, oh, absolutely.
All right, side tangent over for the time
Anyway.
being.
Sometimes you gotta use every part of the Buffalo Kids. Moving on. So, Isabella, funny. Now.
Yep. Her deep announcer voice.
Yep. Everyone flocks to the Monster Truck Arena and then the Crusher.
Yep, even to take on Candace the Crusher. And including Buck Buckerson. Voiced by Billy Ray Cyrus.
Yeah.
So
he's pretty good.
It's like, I knew pigs can fly, but now I've seen everything.
Doesn't make any sense. It doesn't have to. A monster truck. It's a good line.
And of course we have like Lawrence strapped in, like he has a helmet and he strapped a pillow to him using the seatbelt, holding onto the butler. No, of course not. I have full confidence in you, Candace.
It's great.
It's like he's holding like is this pardon my upcoming French, but my mom always referred to the bar as the oh shit bar.
Giving like the little thing you grab in the corner of the car.
Yeah, it's like it's like if you're in an accident, you're like, oh shit.
I've never heard it described like that, Jacob.
I,
The actual name of the thing, I mean, I think it's just like a handle, but
I mean, I know it's not actually what it's called. It's just like that's what like we called it. I don't know if it's like a thing that other people have called it, or like it was just something that my family did. But
if I
that's,
call it like the panic handle or not. I think it's like panic something. I don't know. It's
I mean, that makes more sense. But that's just we. That's just what you know,
like
jokingly.
panic handle or the grabber.
I think I'm just saying that's what we. That's what she called it.
Okay.
So,
Well, Lawrence is definitely using it.
yeah, I mean, can you blame him? He's with Candace in a monster truck in this weird obstacle course like thing. You know, the whole steep. Like, did you see how steep the thing was?
Yep. And he's also when they get mud splattered on him. He's saying, "It's time, Candace, make him suck our mud."
It's like Candace, those dudes need to suck our mud.
See, there's given Lawrence's issues at the beginning of this episode, it does make me wonder if that's a literal interpretation, if we should be worried or not.
Oh God.
Regardless, yeah,
Oh,
so we have the whole truck driving girl montage.
yep. The song Truck Driving Girl, written by Michael Diedrich, Bobby Gaylor, Danny Jacob, Swampy, Martin Olsen, and Dan Povenmire. Dan, of course, Danny Jacob performed the song as well.
Yep, the
And,
two Dans.
yep. And you gotta admit, Dragon, it is pretty impressive. You can't. Not a lot of people can play guitar with drumsticks.
It's a good point.
I mean, you saw them doing it, so it must be true, right?
Of course.
I mean, I actually want to see somebody to actually try to play a guitar on drumstick with
I
drumsticks.
mean, you look at it and you think, well, I mean, if someone could hit, like, if someone had like precision, like a precision strike on the chords, I mean, it's not. I don't know how good it would sound, but I mean, it's possible, and we can't play the drums. How should we know?
I mean, I can't do either one.
That's what I'm saying. You know, you can't do either. I can't do either. How would we know?
I mean, I could definitely try, but at my current level, I wouldn't be very good at
You're
it.
gonna fail miserably. So would I.
Yeah, but clearly they've mastered the art of playing guitar with drumsticks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. So let's just
Still, it's a very fun song, and when paired, there's a fun bit though, like when sometimes they air the like sometimes it has a sometimes they either air these episodes by themselves, and when it premiered by itself, like this episode actually had a bit where at the end of the song, Ferb actually like spoke over the final part of the song using his line from the end of the episode. They actually used Ferb in his place. Which is actually one of the few times that Ferb actually, like, you know, his actual voice was heard in a song, which I thought was pretty interesting. So, of course, Buck Buckerson and everything, they tie. Candace and Lawrence tie with Buck Buckerson, and then the tiebreaker is the parallel parking challenge.
Yes. With these golden trash cans, and they're arguing between him and the Billy Ray Cyrus character, Buck Buckerson. He's just like going crazy, like Candace was earlier. Then we have a nice father-daughter moment between Candace and Lawrence here. Lawrence is like, you know, like, see, even a trained professional can't do it. You know, just do it, Candace.
I think even trained professionals have trouble from time to time. Which is true, which is actually good advice.
Yes. So of course Candace, I just love the animation of how easily she does it without overthinking it. It's like, just parallel parks, like just one smooth movement.
Yep.
Like the best parallel park you've ever seen in your life, let alone with a giant monster truck.
I mean, it's even harder with a giant monster truck.
Did you ever? Oh, right, never mind. I just remembered. Yeah, you did not. You did not frequent Cat Dog.
No, but you can.
There is a monster truck episode of Cat Dog that's rather memorable, where you have Cat, who is always the victim. You know, always the victim, and he's usually kicked around and everything, despite his attitude to life. And there is basically he gets pushed around so much just trying to survive this monster truck thing, and he goes savage and feral, and he unleashes in this monster truck and goes after everyone like he's Jaws with 4 giant wheels.
And Dog was just there along for the
Yeah,
ride.
Dog scared during this.
You're scaring me, cat.
Oh yeah. God.
Yeah. So it's like, so Perry escapes from his ancient platypus trap, like with an ancient Chinese secret, which is just a guy with scissors. I don't remember inviting him. And so, Dragon, how exactly does Perry defeat Doofenshmirtz?
Oh God. So Perry the Platypus. He hits a button, but not well. He hits a dial. He hits a dial, not just any dial. Flips the dial from
Monster Truck Away-inator.
to Doofenshmirtz Mobile and Evil Investors Away-inator. So
Oddly specific dial.
just it's so specific. Why? Doofenshmirtz is not just a self-destruct button. This was you gotta see a therapist, man. This is like the Riddler times 10. You want to be caught. This is like the con man and the criminal keeps getting away with it, wanting to get caught. What are you running away from? Is this what destroyed your marriage? Is this what happened?
No, it was a tomato.
Like, get out of here, really?
And it was a tomato puppet.
Okay. I have so many questions, but I guess we'll find out.
No, you won't.
Wait, we're not gonna find out?
I mean, like it's hinted that's like one of the things that ruined the marriage, honestly, but it's never elaborated upon.
Jacob,
What?
is that a revival pitch that we're gonna see the tomato incident?
Like maybe.
All right. Okay.
But yes, they're away-inated into the alien dimension where apparently that eats monster trucks and humans.
Yep, so ate the monster trucks and then ate Doofenshmirtz and his pals. And for the second time, Doofenshmirtz has been eaten alive by something. And again, now we know how he comes back. Throw it up, man.
Gritty reboot time.
Last week, we established the key to how Heinz Doofenshmirtz survives his fatal encounters with certain platypus. He's got a copy machine. He's got an industrial-sized copy machine that makes copies of them, and this is yet another copy meeting an abysmal end. Of course, when the thing burps, it's like a little like, "Gosh, you bad platypus!"
Yeah, it's like he got the last word.
He did, as he was digested and brutally murdered. He was eaten. He was baby food, man. We killed him like baby food.
Oh God!
Imagine this for the logistics of that bubble to work the way it did. Doofenshmirtz was brutally being digested in the belly of this beast, and in the last using the gas from the belly of this thing that is coming from his own body. By the way, to make it even more sick and wrong, is like Doofenshmirtz is his last words on this mortal coil.
Gotta see a pair of the platypus.
He basically practically willed it into existence into this gaseous bubble made from his own human remains that goes up the gullet of this little baby creature.
Oh God!
And it's something that Periplastic will never hear. So it was a futile effort. That was Doofenshmirtz's last act on this earth. At least this one of many copies. And the fact that like in his last moments, he's thinking of his daughter, his ex-wife, how we could have done it differently. And what is the last thing he says to anyone who's going to listen? Guys, you pray the platypus. Just to show you where his priorities lie. It's always going to be that little platypus. That's what secretly destroyed Doofenshmirtz's marriage. The obsession with the platypus as a side hobby.
On the plus side, though, that guy's head is no longer swelling.
Yes, because it's dissolved in acid.
I mean, it was no longer swelling when he went to the dimension.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Is that an animation error? Or did we address that?
No, he addressed it. He's like, hey, my swelling went down.
Oh yeah, no, I'm sorry. You're right. You're right. Yeah. I was remembering the earlier gag with him, where this great gag where he says, "Oh yeah, the parked car away in there. That's a good idea."
Like, that's an invention I would buy.
Which, I mean, in retrospect, Doofenshmirtz really probably should have done that instead of Monster Truck away in there, because again, I don't think there's a lot of call for monster trucks.
Well, I mean, it would be more practical.
It would be, yeah. Anyway, so
I
the whole like, oh,
mean,
someone's got a swelled head for marketing, eh?
I mean, haven't you? I mean, haven't you ever like been driving yourself or been driving with someone and just wish like, man, I wish these parked cars would go
No, I
away.
absolutely agree. That's what I'm saying. In retrospect, Doofenshmirtz should have gone with that idea.
Like, but do you really expect an idea like that from Doofenshmirtz?
No. Actually, I mean, kind of, actually. Because think about it, he's all about the mundane, so he actually might do that. It might have been a good idea.
I mean, LEP has their own gritty reboot idea. Doofenshmirtz, with a C for some reason, could bleed out for several minutes and just slowly yell out a curse at probably the platypus the whole time.
Curse you!
Better yet, he would probably spell it out in his own blood.
There you go. He'd scroll it. Curse you, Perry! And then he had to scratch it out because he misspelled it. Perry, the platypus.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, and then there's like a little streak from the last S to his finger.
And he'd sign it. Sign Hans Doofenshmirtz of Doofenshmirtz Evil Incorporated. And in writing it, by the way, to show you how it's his last moment. He wants to make it already. He wrote the musical like bar and the score and like little notes and everything. Right?
And that's very detailed blood.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, he was gravely wounded.
Yep.
I mean, Perry got killed. He got shot at him, essentially. It was like, oh, so much blood, so painful, but if I'm going out grammatically correct. Vanessa, bring the staples.
Oh, God. All right. I think so. It's like, so Linda comes home after the track's been taken away.
Which was, I love that gesture of like, oh yeah, you can take it to go. Oh, it's really nice of you boys. Thanks.
I mean, it's nice that they made the track portable.
Yeah.
Like that's like, and of course they switched the truck back, the van back into what it normally is before she comes back.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, why are you all covered in mud? Because she's a tire spinning, gear grinding, clutch burning, backfiring, paint trading, red lighting, overheating, throttle stomping, truck driving girl.
I learned how to parallel park.
Great.
I gotta tell you, that's what I'm saying. Like, okay, we're talking about Phineas and Ferb right now, obviously, but Jacob, put up the other banner to the boys, to the men.
To the men.
Okay, a little message to Dan and Swampy here. Pop Meyer, I hope you're listening.
I haven't reached out to him yet.
Guys, there's money on the table here. Okay, I mean, think about it as how lovely this was. As Linda and Carolina Reed, she's still around, man. She needs work. Let's bring her back. Let's celebrate the fact we're likely going to have more Linda, and let's go full tilt with it. I think she's got legs to stand on. Rather nice legs to stand on, but beyond that, there's legs to stand on with this idea. Okay, let's do what's cooking with Linda and Charlene. All right, there's like she's coming back with a plate of food from what she made, and she's congratulating her family. She's being all pleasant. She's got some snark. She's got wacky characters. I mean, there's like, I'm not saying we go the two broke girls path here. I'm not saying we do that. I'm not even saying that's great. But, Alice and Shannon works well in duos is all I'm saying. And, a little Chuck Lorre magic, just a little sprinkle in there. Not a Chuck Lorre-led show. I'm not trying to say you guys need any help because you don't. I mean, Eddie Gordetsky, he does have, he helped out having the animated series back in the day. He went on to the Big Bang Theory. Somewhat Big Bang Theory adjacent would not be a terrible idea. But, not even factor in any sitcoms in particular. Just like let's let's do this, man. Let's capitalize. Linda's put in the time, man. See, we're not even past season 1, and I'm head over heels for this Linda character. Let's give her 5 seasons and a movie, my friends.
All right.
Let's pull the full Albuquerque verse here. 6 seasons and then a movie, and that movie's El Camino. In this case, it's El Cooking Class Amino.
Can't be bothered to look up the Spanish version of that, can you?
Oh no. Okay. No.
Indeed.
I mean, look, it's like, honestly, I just wanted the Camino kind of thing in there. I mean, if you want the actual Spanish, it's going to be like, I'm thinking of the cooking class, not the what's cooking with Linda. And like, anyway, we're gonna move on from there. Point being, Dan, Swampy, even if it's a little short, okay, let's do Linda. Let's do what's cooking with Linda and Charlene, or at least, at the very least, the Linda and Charlene hour. Linda Charlene shenanigans. Okay, let's Laverne and Shirley the heck out of this, man. Let's do it.
Laverne and Shirley will be an interesting take on that.
Schlemiel, Schlemazel, Pass and Bear Mom Incorporated. Let's do it.
LEB.
If I was Dan Poffenmeyer and or Swampy Mars, I would instantly create this show when I heard this. I mean, proof in the pudding, gentlemen. I mean, look, the public has spoken. I mean, people that have watched the show, I'm just experiencing it for the first time. These people have seen it and they like the idea. Jacob, do you like this idea?
I like this idea.
He likes this idea. She likes this idea. Both demographics. I mean, come on. Column A, column B. Let's put it together and see what comes out.
Some of column A, try all of column B.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I mean, Disney's got money to burn. I mean, they will. So,
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
Eventually, anyway.
All right, so we move on to the next episode.
Mm-hmm.
All right. The Ballad of Badbeard, story by Bobby Gaylor, Martin Olson, storyboards Mike Diedrich and John Colton Berry, and Dan Povenmire directed the episode. So, how you coming down on Ballad of Badbeard?
This is a fun episode, but I think the execution at the start is sloppy.
Would you say first things before you go into that? Would you say it's better than the previous camping episode we had?
I mean,
the Bigfoot one.
I know the Bigfoot. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of hard to say because I think I like the Bigfoot one. For me, it's kind of a reversal where I think this one starts weak, where that one ended kind of weak. Where I don't know. I think. Remember, I'm not really a camping. The Bigfoot episode is more of a taste thing. This one I feel is a good episode. I just wish it was story-wise a little stronger up front in terms of what gets us camping. But I mean, I do like the shenanigans at play with the beard shenanigans and with Candace. So, I mean, that's fun. So, I mean, maybe I like it better, maybe, but if so, by a narrow margin. I mean, I think I like it better.
That's all right. But sorry for the tangent, but go on.
Yeah, so I mean that's the thing. It's a fun episode. It's got really good gags. It's just a sloppy story to me in terms of what starts everything. Just in terms of like hey, we're doing camp again. And it's like it's camp during the summer, but we already did our camp story, and we're not even after. We're still in the first season, right?
Yeah.
Because that's the thing.
We're halfway through the first season with this episode.
Like, part of me feels like they were in an untenable position, or then again, it could have been an absolutely tenable position. Like, hey, let's do both camping episodes in one. I don't think it's that hard. I don't think it was that much of a stretch. We can just have the camping episodes maybe together. Like, I'm not even saying we go full on arc with it, but at least maybe a string of camping episodes. So at least it would make sense why they're all there.
I mean, there are going to be several more episodes at that location, so it wouldn't make sense for all of them to be clumped together. I
don't know. It's still. That's the thing that's rubs me the wrong way with this episode. We're all just like, so we're camping again. We got all. It's not just that we're camping. It's like we had all these characters came back to camp again.
Yeah. Okay.
I just don't buy it. I mean, does that make? I don't know if that makes any sense. Just I don't buy like. All these, like, the fact, like, hey, guys, we're going camping at my grandparents' place. Okay, sure, let's go. And I don't know if they, especially given last time they're traumatized by Bigfoots, I don't know if it necessarily plays.
Remember, they weren't traumatized by Bigfoot, especially if you remember at the end of the episode. They're like, "It was not convincing at all."
Okay, you're right about that. Yeah, sorry, I forgot about that part. But I don't know. Either way, it just feels weird they'd be doing it all. Like all of it's not like a different assortment of characters, or like at the very least, like we don't drop them off at the camp. We just start with them at the camp, and I feel like I've missed something. It just feels kind of like so we're doing another camp episode, and they're all there, and it's not just like the kids visiting their grandparents like by themselves. It's like we need the whole assortment because we want to do a pirate adventure. I don't know. It just feels like it feels a little convenient to get the ball rolling at the start. So I like the episode. Just that's the one nitpick I got.
I mean, that is a pretty nitpick.
No, you're right. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this episode. I'm just saying for me, comparatively, I like the first one better.
I won't say. I won't deny that it. I won't deny that the start does kind of seem a bit weird. I I never really had an issue with the whole they're already this episode just takes place when they're at camp or something.
You also got to admit, and the episode calls itself out on this. It's kind of a thin episode. It's one of those times where Phineas and Ferb at times they will have kind of like episodes where one episode gets a little bit more attention than the other, and this one feels like they cheaped out on the Badbeard song a little bit, and they called it out though.
Yeah, but then they brought it back later on.
They did. So I don't know. I just feel like there was it's not always.
But go on.
We have like the gag with the
concertina.
Well, no, with Clyde.
Oh yeah, with that's it. Well, I didn't say it was much of a song.
That's a good joke, but it just kind of calls it out like, yeah, it's like the show is a song per episode. We can only do so much.
Mm-hmm. A camping episode, but pirates.
That's what I'm saying. You got pirates. Just camping really? Do you buy that camping gets us to the pirates?
I mean, like I said, you can file it under like a cartoon logic kind of thing.
I guess.
I mean, where else would they do a pirate episode?
I don't know. The beach.
I mean, there technically lakes do have beaches.
I mean, sure. I mean, does every lake have to be their grandparents' lake?
I don't know.
I'm just saying, this is like we're encroaching into territory that's the whole. Okay, so cartoon logic. The boys can build God knows what behind that fence. Okay, that's cartoon logic. But the logic of like, okay, campsite that suddenly has a lake, and not just a lake, but a lake that leads to an island.
Yeah. So what?
I don't know. It just feels like, are we going to go back to this? Are we going to do it? They say, oh, that sound's been here forever. Why is it the first time we're hearing about it?
Like, I don't know, because that's how story episodes work. Alternate universe pirate episode though.
All right, look, it's like I'm not trying to split hairs here. It's fine. It works. It works. I don't know. It's getting this. I'm not crazy as being thrown into it to start on this one. This feels like visiting grandma and grandpa. Like we usually make a big deal about that. And it's like, yeah, we're just kind of there. Like, really, we're just kind of there.
I mean, I can also see the opposite side. Like, where if they're actually showing them arriving again, it would just be a couple minutes wasted from the episode.
I mean, maybe, but at the very least, you could have said like, "Hey, kids, we're boating," or Grandpa could have gotten in on the action for all we know. I don't know.
All right, well, that's
look, it doesn't matter what I think on that. I'm just saying that it's kind of a thing that occurs to me, perhaps.
I mean, that's fair.
All right,
but speaking of the whole opening gag, it's like the whole gag with that. It's like, does anyone here have a concertina? Buford.
That's a really good joke. Yeah.
It's like me. Yes. I mean, that actually gets referenced in like a couple seasons. I think. I might be, I don't know if I'm dreaming this or remembering it wrong, but there's a later episode where he's like, one of these days they're gonna have a call for an obscure instrument, and I'm not gonna have it. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So I was like. So of course that all leads to the whole moss ordeal, like where they're talking about the moss that causes hallucinations, which is basically the closest like this show could ever get to like referencing drugs.
Yep, Jacob.
Yeah.
Put it on the screen.
Ready to reboot time.
So, folks, we don't even really have that. This episode, one of the great things about this episode, we didn't have to work that hard on the great reboot. It's like, Candace is on drugs and hallucinating. The whole episode. Okay, I mean she's hallucinating a zebra in a rocking chair. Well, the zebra was like in a rocking chair, right?
Yep.
I thought. Okay, zebra's in a rocking chair, calling her Kevin.
It gets much stranger, Kevin. Jeff Bennett, by the way.
I know, love it. I love it. So it's the fact that Candace is just going on this hallucinatory.
LB puts it best.
Candace gets absolutely zonked in this one.
Yes.
She does. She does. We don't have to work that hard already. We've drugged Candace. We've got her to hallucinate. The only way she's gonna get over her, her obsession of busting people.
Just kidding. It's getting hallucination drugs.
Just essentially tripping on mushrooms. Essentially, in this case, like kind of like moss.
Yeah, it's like, and that's the strange thing. I mean, the episode actually reveals that it's not that it's actually not the orange moss that does anything. It's like the power of suggestion. The zebra might actually be there for all
Okay,
we know.
that's my other nitpick with the episode. I gotta be honest. I call BS on that reveal. Come on, that was there's I don't know. There's self-imposed hallucination. But I mean, going that far with it. I mean, she saw a zebra.
You've never heard of like the placebo effect?
I know of the placebo effect. I'm saying even regardless of the placebo effect, that's hallucinating like a zebra in a rocking chair and going as far as she did. I don't know. That's a little more of a placebo effect.
Dragon, what if I told you that like there's a hint in Across the Second Dimension where that zebra might not be a hallucination after all? Like there's several episodes in the future that hint that the zebra might actually be there.
I mean that's good, but I mean she's blacking out, Jacob.
But there's actually like in Across the Second Dimension, she sees the zebra and he has a newspaper that says Kevin wins election.
Well, fair enough with the zebra. We forgot to mention something in relation to Across the Second Dimension.
Yeah.
Giant baby head in the previous episode.
We did see the baby head briefly in the previous in Mud World.
And it was bigger than the last one.
I think it's supposed to be the same one.
It was bigger though.
Have you seen it? I mean, the giant floating baby head originally was about the same size as Candace.
What I'm saying, this thing looked really big. It was like on a flatbed truck, Jacob.
I know. Maybe it can just change sizes.
I will not have.
It wasn't. Remember, it wasn't floating. It was just a decoration, just a giant baby head. It wasn't necessarily a floating one.
Jacob,
yeah.
Must we quibble over the giant baby heads?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we do.
All right. So
are we still doing the gritty reboot, or are we going back to?
Well, no. It's all says I do. Well, okay. Let's dispatch with it. So okay. So I do call BS on. Even regardless of the zebra, I don't know. It just still feels like she's blacking out. She's ending up in locations she's not. She's the platypus stuff. Okay, that's a placebo effect. But like changing colors and hair and everything, and she's blacking out. She's on top of trees and stuff.
Jagan, the mind is a fragile thing. I mean, like if you studied psychology, you'd know that. Like
you want.
I mean, I'm saying it's obviously exaggerated for comedic effect, but the mind is actually very malleable and can be. And as the episode points out, the power of suggestion.
See, there's something in relation to Ted Lasso I want to tell you, Jacob, but I can't.
Why?
I'm just saying it's in relation to this very episode, but I don't want to spoil it for you.
Okay.
My point. First of all, I think it's rather presumptuous you acting like the psychology expert here.
I mean, I'm not acting like it, but I know like I said, I obviously.
What are you saying? I don't know anything about psychology. I know as much as you know about psychology.
Again, I studied a bit of psychology in school.
So did I.
But the thing is, like, the power of suggestion is a real thing, and obviously,
yes.
I said obviously it's exaggerated for comedic effect.
All right. I guess my point is like it's pulling the rug out from under you and saying we couldn't just have it be the hallucination. It's like no, there's another one that the real convenience is the fact like and there just happens to be blue moss right under there. Like that's a bit much. Like why would they set up camp over the moss? Like especially as hallucinogenic blue moss they know is hallucinogenic blue moss.
Well, it's impossible it grew there without them knowing.
How would they not notice that?
Well, I mean, like I said, it can grow. Maybe
They own this land.
moss can grow in unexpected places.
That's not the point. The point is they think they will recognize. Oh, that's blue moss. Maybe we should like move things a little here.
They didn't. Maybe they didn't notice.
How would they not notice?
I don't know because there wasn't much of it.
It was all over the floor.
It was like on a small area.
It was like anyway. It was like blue carpet. It's like blue and green carpeting practically with the grass. I don't.
All right.
Okay, moving on from landscaping here. We're gonna. Okay, let's see. Where should we?
Never touch the orange moss. Left is right. Right is wrong. The orange moss can cause wild hallucinations.
Mm-hmm. All right, so the Badbeard himself, Badbeard essentially is a pirate notoriously known for having a bad beard.
Like plundering lakeside communities.
Freshwater lakeside communities.
Yes. Sounds like they at least justified that.
Yeah.
So I was like, probably doesn't have much of a range, but if he was fearsome enough, why not? like Captain Barbossa, eat your heart out.
Yeah.
Which would be easy because he can turn into a skeleton.
Good. It's a good point.
Wait, does he even have a hardened skeleton mode? Skeleton form. I don't remember.
I have no idea.
I know he has skeleton, obviously skeleton, but I don't remember if he has any other. I don't think they showed any of his other internal organs. Anyway, splitting hairs.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Let's see. Anyway. So point being, we set up Badbeard has an island where he stashed his booty.
Your booty? Treasure. It's an easy joke and one that almost every show makes, but it's obligatory.
Yep. So the kids decide to sail there, and they turn Grandpa's dinghy into an awesome pirate ship.
Yeah, it is a pretty nice looking ship.
Then we have like a jaunty little pirate tune with all the kids like lined up in their pirate gear. I like Isabella in like little swashbuckler outfit. I think that's cute.
Yep. The Ballad of Badbeard. The full Ballad of Badbeard. Some background for that one. John Colton Berry, Michael Diedrich, Jeff Swampy, Martin Olson, and Dan Povenmire wrote the song. And barring the previous episode where I mentioned where his voice is used in the credits, and outside of one song on a Christmas album, this is the only time that Thomas Sangster's voice is actually heard during a song. Like every other time Ferb sings, it's someone else providing the voice. This is the only time we actually hear him, kind of sing along to the song.
Okay.
So, right. If you're expecting more Thomas Sangster singing, you won't be getting it.
All right.
No, but yes, it's a fun little sea jaunty tune.
All right, so let's talk Perry Platypus stuff.
Yes, of course. It starts out with Perry being abducted by an eagle.
Yeah, which initially I was thinking, oh God, he's been taken by a hawk. Obviously, it was not a hawk; it was an eagle.
Yeah, but still kind of a little bit of a minor jump scare.
Yeah, and he's taken to the nest, and we reveal he is not lunch. He's being airlifted by Agent E.
Yeah, which is like one of the first outside agents we actually see for the agency.
Big reveal. There's actually a Peacemaker crossover here where it's actually Eagly.
It's Eagly.
Yeah.
R.I.P. Eagly.
What are you talking about?
I know. I thought I don't know. He's like, eagles don't live very long.
Well, Eagly's still alive.
I know.
All right. Anyway. So, so we have this egg that hatches, and inside of it is Monogram being fed worms by Agent E.
I mean, and to be fair, anybody seeing that, they probably would think they were on drugs or drunk.
Yeah, so here is the ingenious thing. Candace is actually seeing everything that Perry Platypus is doing because she's, well, at least in a placebo effect induced hallucination, just where she's actually more hyper aware than anything else.
It's like, oh, this is so weird. I see Perry with an eagle, and they're both dressed like secret agents, and they're talking to a man inside an egg. That's so
Yep.
messed up. Like, wait a minute, how do I get up here?
Yeah. So Pointless Perry is going to seemingly foil Doofenshmirtz, who isn't really up to anything evil at all during this, by the way.
Just because I am evil doesn't mean everything I do is evil.
I love Perry just giving him that look too. I just love cutting back and forth between just like Perry, like, come on.
And Perry was kind of egging him on in this episode.
He was. That's again. Let's just put it in perspective here. Monogram's got problems, man. Like Doofenshmirtz didn't do anything wrong in this episode. All he did was buy real estate.
Yeah, it looks like a pretty neat place too.
Yeah, he bought it for a good price too.
Like, and he was even trying to get but unfortunately doesn't carry the Evil Science channel.
Yep, that's the thing. That's the worst thing he's trying to do. He's trying to buy the Evil Science channel.
It's like, hey, did you mean to tell me you don't carry the Evil Science channel? What's up with that?
Yep.
I mean, Dragon, like, would you watch the Evil Science channel?
I would give it a shot.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds like maybe has some good drama programming on there, or maybe some good documentaries on evil scientists.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Like evil recipes, or like ways to beat your nemesis. Like,
yeah.
Here's how to trap your nemesis. Ooh.
Now be sure to add the self-destruct button because you never know when it's going to come in handy.
Oh right, oh, that's good. That's good. I better write that down.
It'll be like a Norm Abrams, like a carpenter.
Norm Abrams.
I'm touching Norm Abrams. I'm holding Norm Abrams above my head.
I knew you'd appreciate that reference.
Yeah. So like, what if it's like this old house sort of thing where he's going like, oh god, where he's basically, and be sure and remember, you can never have a self-destruct button that's too big. And remember, if you're gonna get an evil pet, make sure they can kill your nemesis. Like, and if you're gonna get them in pairs, so they have a little playmate.
And be sure to give them a name you can remember.
Now let's go to the Tesla coils. All right.
Oh god.
So
what do you think of Doofenshmirtz's pet crocodiles?
Susan and Susan. I named them after each other.
Yeah, I mean, you gotta love his logic there.
They are coming back, aren't they?
No.
Well, what?
You don't see him again.
No. They gotta come back, Jacob. You're not telling me that they're gone.
They're gone.
No.
I don't think they died, but I don't think we ever see them again.
Oh, no, they died, Jacob.
But remember, they had Doofenshmirtz dead to rights.
They did, but Jacob, we know he's going to be fine. He's got clones, but they didn't escape the explosion. They were murdered by self-destruct. Oh, God, Peter's going to have a field day. We killed alligators in this.
Crocodiles.
Oh, sorry. We killed crocodiles in this.
Remember, Dragon, if it didn't have it on screen, it didn't happen. If you don't see it happen, that means it didn't happen.
Jacob, you just told me we're never going to see him again.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean they died.
That doesn't mean they lived either.
It's Schrodinger's crocodiles.
Yeah. Oh, God, I can't believe they killed both Susans. Jacob, they killed all the Susans.
I don't know. If we don't see a character again, that means they're dead. Smiley face.
Yep.
I don't love the cheerful talk here.
Can't believe it. Perry.
Not
even Perry. Perry didn't do it. No. Candace killed crocodiles.
And she was under the influence of drugs.
Oh my Lord. How did Disney ever approve this episode? They didn't even kill the crocodile in Peter Pan. They had a whole bunch of other offensive stuff here, but they did not kill the crocodile in Peter Pan.
There's only like one offensive part of Peter Pan, but
oh no, you're right. I'm blowing that out.
I mean, I'm not saying that wasn't offensive. I'm just saying.
No, you're right though. I'm just saying, you're right. It was one singular thing, but just for my point here, it's just, there's far more offensive stuff that is made through Disney films. And Peter Pan, we did not kill the crocodile, but the other stuff.
I mean, after all, he was chasing after Hook.
And Captain Hook was a bad guy.
Yes, he was.
And again, we didn't kill off the crocodile. However, the crocodile was not in Return to Neverland.
LEB's condemning Dan.
Jacob, put up the other banner.
Put up the other banner. I guess this one.
Yep. Now, can you put up her comment too, or only one at a time?
Now, hold on.
There we go. Boys, listen up. LEB, beloved listener, says, Dan Povenmire, how could you teach the children such horrible life lessons? How could you do this? You killed off 2 of God's creatures. You killed off two crocodiles.
Named Susan.
Named Susan. Not just one named Susan, 2 named Susan. You know how rare that is? Do you know how rare? That's never going to happen again. You know how I know? It's because Jacob told me it's never going to happen again.
We don't see him again.
How? He's an evil scientist, Dan. Evil. Let me spell it. E-V-I-L.
You're about to sing the song, weren't you?
No, yeah, exactly.
You're about to sing E-V-I-L-B-O-Y.
Yes. E-V-I-L. C-I-N-T.
C-I-E-N-T-I-S-T.
Yes.
I might have misspelled that myself. R.A.P. Susan and Susan.
Pavi. You killed the guy. Here's what upsets me more. It's not just the fact that he killed him. It's the fact that you have no reason to kill him, okay? Doofenshmirtz is going to have evil measures later on. We're going to bring back that robot, and yet we can't bring back the crocodiles?
Which robot are you talking
about? Well, the John Viner robot.
Oh, well, you mean Norm.
Yeah, Norm the robot. He's coming back. He's coming. Don't tell him, Jacob. Don't tell him he's only in 1 episode.
Well, Norm hasn't come back yet. I mean,
I know he hasn't been introduced. I'm saying eventually he'll be introduced and he will come back, won't he?
And technically, he's never died.
Well, I mean, still, man, my point being he'll be coming back a little.
Yeah, he becomes semi-regular. Right. We do see Norm a lot.
So much so you could say Norm.
Yes.
Anyway, but it's just seriously, evil scientists always have a need for deterrence, and it's like a Bond thing. It's like the sharks with freaking laser beams attached to their head, to quote Austin Powers. It's like there's no reason we couldn't have crocodiles. Megamind, he's got alligators. I'm pretty sure those were alligators instead of crocodiles, but they could have been crocodiles. Regardless, just the fact that there's an in for that. I saw these crocodiles. I was like, okay, this is gonna be like a fun little thing where I thought we introduced these things to come back. And you're telling me we're not going to see him again? That Povenmire and Swampy, I'm looking at you, Mustache. You killed them. How dare you?
Maybe I should have put up a whole rant after all. Rant banner after all.
Well, LEB started.
I know, but still.
Okay, put up briefly.
Okay, hold on. Ah, dang it. There we go.
And you killed them. You killed them both. Why? Because you couldn't be bothered to bring them back. Evil scientists need pets too. All right. End of rant. Get rid of it.
All right. Back to this.
All right.
So I guess we could discuss the whole adventure in the cave thing.
Yeah.
Like where they're braving with giant iguana monsters and like, Buford, what are you doing? Like, I found these nifty hand puppets. It's like, get out of here. Oh, come on. Oh, all right. You gotta love a good perspective gag.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's one of my favorite bits of humor. Is like just these random perspective gags. It's a classic cartoon trope, but it's one that always gets a chuckle out of me.
So after running into a giant iguana.
Yep. Like,
by the way, did the iguana make it out?
I don't know.
Do we ever see the iguana again?
No. All right. Hold on.
Guys, are we back here already? What did I just say? I gotta hear it from him yet again.
Yep.
Jacob,
We
tell me
never.
this.
Well,
Jacob,
to be fair, the iguana wasn't named. I think he could take care of himself.
Jacob, here's a question.
Yes.
When our young friends escaped, was there an explosion behind them? Tell me there wasn't an explosion behind them.
I mean, the most that happened was the island just sank.
Oh my god. It sank?
I'm not even gonna try to pronounce that last part. Dan, how could you?
Just it's oh my Jacob.
Yeah.
Hovenmeyer drowned that poor iguana. Drowned it.
Oh god.
Oh
Like I said,
my-
iguanas can swim. I think.
Yeah, they can. Can they breathe underwater?
I don't know if they can breathe underwater, but I'm sure if it could live in a cave for so long, I'm sure it could probably survive the water.
Jacob, we're not talking about he's just in the water. We're talking about an explosion, assumedly, even if it's not like a big explosion like Fireball. The point being, explosions happened elsewhere. The whole thing's collapsing around him, causing sinkage.
We're not talking about this. We're not talking about this. We're talking about this.
Yeah, so the fact is that iguana, my friend, is pinned under rocks and barreling down the depths of Davy Jones' locker and is having its own bubbles coming up to the surface saying, "Why, kids? Why?" Because he doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know it's all. Can't. He's not saying why can't. He's saying, "Why did you do battle with me? I could have heard the reverberations and left, but instead I was dealing with you kids. Why did you steal my beards? Why? You're young. You'll grow your own beards, real beards, in fact."
Well, several of them will, not all of them.
We don't know what Isabella's going to go through in the future.
Oh God, Dragon! And Dragon, there's literally an episode that takes place in the
No. As I said, I just now realized that you're absolutely right. Never mind. Forget what I just said. Yeah,
So,
you're right. You're right. I mean, you think Baljeet will grow a beard
no.
because we see him in the future?
Yes.
Okay, never mind. Forget my beard predictions here. Hey, wait, hold on. Actually,
The rant's still not over.
okay, actually, dial back a little bit.
What?
For all you know, they could have shaved in between episodes.
Okay.
There you go. They all could have possibly shaved.
Well, to be fair, they're like 18 in that episode.
Well, there you go. You don't know they're not going to have beards in the future.
Yeah, I mean, none of them. They don't. None of them have beards.
Well, I mean, in the beyond the age of 8, do we see him beyond 18?
No.
There you go.
I mean, as Baljeet points out, Phineas doesn't even have a chin.
Okay. I think we're missing the operative point here. Swampy held an iguana underwater until it didn't show up anymore. This is indisputable. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, this is indisputable fact. These men, in their animation, held this creature underwater. Off screen, yes. But this creature was not shown breathing at the end of this episode, and we never see it again. When will the Holocaust end? Okay. I think that says it all. Throw it up on screen once more.
Okay.
I rest my case. Okay, back to the episode.
Okay, back to the episode.
Okay, so yeah, we find fake beards.
Like now, Baljeet's like, maybe the real treasure was the friends we made along the way. Nah, it's right over there.
Yeah, we don't go Goonies on this one. Actually, we do go Goonies because we actually do get some treasure at the end.
Yeah, the Goonies found the treasure too.
Yeah, well, they found treasure, but the reveal is that they actually got to keep some of the treasure.
I forgot to mention, I love Clyde's line when they're talking about finding the map. He's like, I came up here every summer thirsty for fun and adventure. course, I discovered girls, and the rest is a blur.
I love that joke.
It's like, well, we know what his priorities were.
Yep.
we have to give the boys a couple more years.
Yep. There's a dirty Goonies joke I could make right now, but I'm not going to do it.
Oh, okay. I mean, we literally talked about drowning animals, dragons.
Well, hey, we didn't do that. Okay.
I mean, they didn't even imply that. I think the animals are fine, but you're the one really. They killed the animals.
Well, they're not coming back. There's no reason not to bring back those crocodiles. And well, to be honest, the iguana. I'm making a case out of the iguana. I'll be honest, but that's just bad timing on their part. So,
and to be fair, the iguana was much more malevolent than the Susans were.
That's the thing. I mean, look. To be fair, look. In all honesty, the iguana's probably fine. I hope the crocodiles are fine, but they were literally in the vicinity of the explosion. So that one actually is likely murder.
Murder.
Yep.
But as you were saying, okay, LEB says something else. It's like, did their grandfather any portraits for intimate purposes?
Well, he was a young man.
I mean, Clyde is obviously not related to Lawrence at all, but maybe.
That's true, but then again, Linda does it too.
Yeah,
She doesn't paint. She doesn't paint though. She's the photography.
Yeah, that is true.
And Candace has inherited this.
Only time will tell. Phineas and Ferb inherited too.
Well, again, chances are Ferb will inherit this with pictures of Vanessa. Every time I'll wake up saying Vanessa.
No, he'd be more happy. Was like Vanessa.
More like Vanessa.
Vanessa.
Exactly.
All right.
Here's how Ferb does it. Okay.
Oh no.
See, Ferb does it in like the classic Kingpin way, where he wakes up and it's like hanging on his wall and brings him comfort. You know, it's hanging like rabbit in a snowstorm. So it's a big old portrait of her. It's a big artful. So he did kind of a mixture of the two. Instead of like a little picture in the bed, it hangs over his bed.
Like on the ceiling, on the ceiling or on the wall.
I was thinking on the wall. Like I'm saying he gets up, so he leans up. It's just like it brings him comfort. It's a calming thing in the morning.
So what you're saying is like if you put it on the ceiling that way, that when he wakes up staring at the ceiling instead of seeing the blank ceiling, he sees Vanessa.
I mean, he could do that. I was just thinking more of like he gets up, like you wake up and lean up as if you're about to get out of bed, and he looks forward like, oh, there it is.
Instead of it being the first thing he sees when he wakes up.
Yeah. It's essentially the first thing he sees. It's the first thing I see when I wake up. All right. Anyway.
We'll definitely be seeing more of Vanessa next episode too.
We are.
Yes, like
Cool.
Dragon. You've been looking forward to the birthday episode.
Don't tease me, Jacob.
Okay, I won't tease you.
All right.
Okay.
So let's see.
So like the chest is full of bad fake beards. And you admit these beards are pretty bad.
Yeah.
I mean, look at Ferb. It's freaking plaid.
That's a good joke, by the way.
What is?
Oh, the plaid beard being a bad beard. It's a good joke.
Yep. I mean, you can't get much worse than those. I mean, it's mainly the colors that make it bad.
So
maybe it was like more like a Scottish tartan, like with like red and like some red and blue in there. That would probably look better, and like a more natural green. But those kind of colors just do not go well together at all.
Now we got a little sidetracked with the crocodile thing, but we should mention the whole Candace the Sea Hag gag.
No, that was great. Look, Doofenshmirtz bought it because of the whole legend supposedly reducing the price. But when she shows up like cackling like crazy, it's like the Sea Hag, the pharmacist.
I love the way she says the pharmacist.
Like, once again, mistaken for a pharmacist.
And then the beef jerky in the vending machine, which she basically misdoes as a giant self-destruct button, and Perry's like, no, don't push it.
And to be fair, you can't blame this one on Doofenshmirtz.
No, I know. Doofenshmirtz, that's the thing. Doofenshmirtz is a humanitarian in this episode.
I mean, like, he was just trying to move in, get some cable installed.
Play with his crocodiles.
Named Susan and Susan. He named them after
Susan, and Candace killed him.
He named them after each other.
And she killed him while on drugs.
Well, while thinking she was on
While
drugs.
thinking, so that's what makes it even more pointless. The fact she wasn't even on drugs.
Well, I mean, it's more hallucinogens rather than straight up drugs.
True. I mean, then again, it's like hallucinogens you put in the bag, it's a drug. So you know.
I mean, like this is pretty much the closest one of the times the show got ever close to mentioning, or even including something similar to drugs.
Yep, and then we have the post credit scene on this episode. Instead of just being like a reprise of the song, should have been like the usual after school special thing where Candace's like, "Hello, I just want you to know, we had a lot of laughs here on today's episode, but when you see Moss, don't put in a baggie, don't go on hallucinogenic, placebo or not hallucinogenic journeys."
And of course, like one of the funniest parts when she was on drugs, and Ellie B's first comment before we even went live, "Why do my nostrils whisper to me?"
God, all right. So then at the end, Candace, they do the link up there on the ship. Candace is saying, "Perry, where's your little cute spy outfit?" Yeah, it's great.
It's adorable. It's kind of adorable, you know, when she just like kind of like when she just like looking at her, Perry, where's your cute little agent hat?
I gotta tell you, man, I like how mellow Candace is. I like how Candace is just being all nice to Perry. Here's like, where's your cute? Let's say cute little secret agent. And she likes that platypus, man.
I mean, like she doesn't always appreciate him, and doesn't always appreciate him, and she kind of finds him boring, but she does secretly kind of love it. Secretly, you know, care for him at least.
Yeah.
like, I mean, they'll be explored more in like season 2, like in like an episode in season 2.
Okay.
But yeah, but like everyone goes back with the fake beards, and everybody's wearing the fake beards, including Candace, so she got in on it too. and Grandma Betty Joe was getting on it too, explaining the fact that the orange moss is fine, but it's the orange that's the blue moss. That's the hallucinogen, as we discussed earlier. And of course, when I said everyone got on the beards, I mean everyone got at the beards. Like, love the beard, Kevin. Even the zebra got in on it.
Oh yeah.
Like, I love that zebra. The zebra's hilarious.
That he is.
Jeff Bennett. Gotta love anything Jeff Bennett does. Almost. I've been watching some of Johnny Bravo stuff earlier, and he nailed that one. Oh my god! Anything else, Dragon? Then?
Not particularly. I think we got it.
You get any more like rants or messages?
No. I think we're all ranted out. We don't want to extend things too long, but it was again fun episodes.
Yes. And except with that, and marks we're halfway through the first season.
All costs were 3 lives.
Well, Dragon, how many Doofenshmirtz and Perrys have we killed in these gritty reboots?
No. Those are the reboots, Jacob. Those are the gritty reboots. This was real.
I guess that's a fair point.
That's the difference. Three actual lives were lost.
And like Dragon, when it comes to the Star Wars special, even more people get killed.
That's true, but it's a question of how fictional that one's going to be. I don't know. I haven't seen the episode, so I don't know.
It's actually really good. Like it actually, they take a Guildenstern, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead approach to it.
Right.
All right, so like as I mentioned, next week next week is actually a 2-part episode.
Ooh.
In which instead of like telling you guys, you'll just have to say it for yourself, and those watching will know when I say it. Like, so join us next week on the Phineas and Ferb Recap-inator for another 2-part episode, and get ready to face the music because, dude, we're getting the band back together. This is the Ballad of Badbeard.
R.I.P. Susan.
He named them after each other. Badbeard's forever, dude.